Bait and Switch.
Yeah.
Now
Hot.
that title alone is deep. You want to know what the book is about. Bait and Switch.
Bait and switch.
And then it has a $100 bill on the cover.
Serious.
So
Serious.
serious.
Serious business.
Tell me what the book is about without giving away your secrets.
Well, without giving away the secrets, it's about a hustler in Cleveland. His name is DeAndre, and he needs to get out of the game.
Okay.
You know, the mother of his children, you know, she loves him, but as long as he's in the street, she won't deal with him. So, you know.
Oh, we might can relate to that,
right,
huh?
So.
That
but,
yeah.
But there's a lot of twists in the story.
Right.
So as he makes his way out of the game, you know, it's a lot of bait and switch. For those in the street, you know, that's the kind game when you set one thing out and it appears to be, then somebody put the switch on you.
Right.
In on the back end, and I can't give out too much.
Well, it seemed like that was a switch from the first book, where the first book was like a mature conversation where you want to raise consciousness about relationships. And now this new book is more crime, drama, you know, streets, you know, hardcore nature. You switched it up on them. Was that part of the plan to be balanced like that?
Well, actually, it's still some mature theme. There's a theme that goes through the book.
Okay.
There is some, a lot of the hustler books that I've read, they're one track. So this particular character, you see how he thinks and feels as he makes his way out of the streets. So it's not just shooting and gunplay and get back. You know, as you get to the end of the story, you begin to see how he thinks and how he feels and how he matures.
Right.
And he's actually mentored by an older hustler in jail.
Oh, is that
so
right?
he has a father-son relationship with this guy, and it's a great story. Any book or any movie you've seen, there's some truth to it somewhere.
Right.
But this is not something I took from someone's life and put it in a book. This is all fiction out of my mind. So someone's going to read it and say, that's me, and I've got that already. Oh, I know this guy. I know this person. You know, that it's selling like crazy in the streets, man.
Were you fascinated or something with the lifestyle of a hustler?
Well, I wouldn't say fascinated. As a young person growing up in the city, East Cleveland, is what I seen.
Oh.
It was the norm.
Oh,
you know?
hold on. Whenever somebody say EC,
EC?
You get the motivation.
It's worldwide. EC.
You know, we get the motivation.
Right. EC is where I'm from.
You hail from EC.
Correct.
Real dilapidated. A lot of drugs running rampant, crime, you know, right now, and it's just a lot of blight. We got guys like him. We had Philia Thomas. Right. Philia Thomas came from out of there. I'm saying that's why we illuminating guys like this from EC. Now EC, the streets of EC is dilapidated, right? The makeup of EC is dilapidated. You got books like this, right? Real entertaining. But you got some that will want to argue the point like, well, hey, man, you know, what does this do to help build the community when you put out stuff like this? Now, I'm not judgmental. I believe a guy, if he can come with a product of his own and he can move it, that's called industry. That's called capitalism. That's called America.
That's right.
Okay? That's what that's called. So I don't have no issue with that. We call it Hollywood in the hood. But what do you got to say to detractors that take offense to your work like this?
Well, actually, they got to differentiate entertainment from reality. Real quick, my people was in East Cleveland when it was a high-end suburb back in the 60s.
Okay.
You know, when you had to have 2 incomes, good job, everybody line was manicured. So I grew up in East Cleveland. I seen the transition.
Wow, you seen it from
how it was.
Till now.
To the real.
Yeah. So I'm the 70s.
Okay.
I'm born in the 70s, raised in the 80s. So East Cleveland didn't change until like the 80s.
Okay.
The 80s and going from the 80s to the 90s.
Right.
So I seen the well-manicured lawns.
Okay.
And when we had a curfew, we couldn't even be outside after 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Street lights, everybody had to be in the house. So the East Cleveland now, what you're saying is what it has become, but I remember what it was and what it can be again. But like you said, with my book, this is not glorifying the streets. It's just painting a picture of reality. What took place in the 80s took place in East Cleveland. You can't deny that it didn't take place. It did.
Right.
So if I tell a story of someone's life, or if I use a fictional character, these things take place. But if you read the book, the ending is what it's all about. Right. You read the whole book, And the story of East Cleveland is over. It's not over. You got a new mayor. You know, guy I went to school with, a high school friend of mine is a judge, Judge Dawson.
Right.
We graduated high school together.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Now, one thing I did notice, you got a huge following.
Yes, sir.
Crazy.
Huge.
It's crazy. It's like a cult following all of a sudden.
Business.
It's like a cult following. It's like everybody
He's
want
not
it.
lying.
I'm very appreciative of everybody who support, everybody who bought it. People calling like, hey, you know, they telling me about the characters that I wrote like they real people.
Right.
And that's like the biggest high for a writer.
Right. It's on Amazon right
It's
now.
on Amazon.com right now.
So they have to go to TitoMBradley.com/Amazon.com and they can order it there. And